On Earth, we live together with millions of people in one material world. We can see, hear, feel, hate, or love each other. In the hereafter, not everyone lives in the same world. The hereafter consists of a number of separate spiritual worlds, which we can call spheres. A sphere reflects the life of feeling and consciousness of its inhabitants. Everyone lives within the same sphere that possesses the same degree of spiritual love. When people arrive on the other side after dying, most of them still think in an earthly way. The first thing they have to learn is spiritual thinking. In the spirit, people can move with the power of thought. The spiritual body is rarefied and listens to the will, at least if they can direct that will at one point, if they can concentrate. However, the control of their thoughts is not easy. Many people's thoughts are just scattered. They flutter like butterflies in all directions. Or they think exactly about what they do not want. However, in the spiritual world, what they are thinking about happens immediately. So, they must first learn to be careful with their feelings and their thoughts. They can also continue with the arts and sciences, which they developed on Earth. After all, inside, they have not changed in any way. Children who died young on Earth live in the child spheres. They grow up here without earthly restrictions or illnesses. The only thing they have to learn is how they can grow spiritually. The mothers who look after them explain the foundations of the spiritual life to them. In this way, a number of them achieve adult spiritual consciousness within a short time. Sometimes spiritual children are brought to the earth, where they can play with earthly children. During this playtime, the earthly child experiences that it does not yet possess the spiritual rarity of his heavenly playfellow. Sooner or later, the inhabitants of the hereafter feel that they will only make progress in their spiritual life if they actually start to help other people. On Earth, people then talk of guardian angels or spiritual guides. A spiritual guide watches over every and all of their earthly loved ones. Because they are no longer bound to earthly time, they sense in advance when something can go wrong. If their loved ones can be reached, they can pass or take on that feeling.
Go with us!
By doing something concrete for other people, the spirits grow in love and consciousness. They can also be active as a guide in the hereafter. For example, in the dark spheres. For many people, entering the hereafter is not a treat. They do not arrive in a sphere of light because they do not yet possess this light in their feeling. Their inner being is still cold and misty, and this is why they end up in a sphere where there's just as little light as they feel in their inner being. They do not yet realize that the hereafter is a reflection of their life of feeling. Many people do not even know that they have died. After all, they only experience the things that their feeling is open to. Spirits of light try to convince them that they have died on Earth and that they can enter a sphere of light if they change themselves and if they start to do something for other people. However, these inhabitants of the land of twilight are fulfilled with themselves, for they close off their thoughts to other views. The land of hatred, lust, and violence reflects the life of feeling of its inhabitants. Hitler, Stalin, and their own kind find themselves in the Valley of Sorrows. They are not aware that they are alive. For some people, it will take millions of years before they have climbed up to the spheres of light. First, they must discard their dark character traits and make amends for their wrong deeds. But all the dark spheres will dissolve one day, and everyone will radiate the light of spiritual love and wisdom. The spheres of light and darkness, which belong to the earth, give the inhabitants the chance to work on themselves and to master a universal love for all life. As they feel more love, they will radiate more light, and their spiritual environment will also reflect this light. When they radiate the golden light of the highest sphere of light, they are ready to go further. They then penetrate deeper into the material and spiritual laws in order to get to know and to love all life.